Welcome everyone to the Positive Podcast. Today we've got Tania the model, we've got Peter the actor, and we've got Quincy the comedian. Say hello, guys.
Hello.
So, kicking it straight off, have you guys seen the latest Coca-Cola advert for Christmas?
Yes.
And what do you guys think? Because it's all AI.
The fact that they're kicking up more fuss that it's AI and not actually kicking up fuss that there's a fat white guy who's Father Christmas is more of an issue to me. I've never seen the advert itself. Polar bears, Father Christmas. That's where I saw a black guy in there.
Computers can do anything nowadays.
Yeah, in the cold.
What about taking your jobs? What about Peter? It's going to take your job.
Well, next week I'm flying to Dubai to play Santa Claus for a month. So he does exist.
Yeah. For a monthly paycheck, yes. But I think that I'm not worried about my profession because I don't think AI will ever know what it's like to perform live in front of a live audience and handle hen nights. Yeah. So it would never experience that. I would be worried if I was an actor, especially if I was from the MCU. I'd be worried about that. Any kind of animal characters. Yeah, you must be worried. You sure you're worried about someone generated? Because you're a carbon copy, mate. You're original.
What if they put you in? They take your image and then they use it.
Yeah, because I know there was a thing with Bruce Willis that they AI'd him and they would keep using him, after he passes. And I think that they've tried to do that with other.
What Bruce Willis did they take? What the Bruce Willis from? The Die Hard Bruce Willis or what's the other Bruce Willis?
Moonlighting was a good one.
Moonlighting Bruce Willis.
I think they can take all his faces, his ages.
I remember the good old days where you can just fight for your name. Now your image.
But what about Tania? This is happening a lot in models. I mean, OnlyFans, I do believe, has computer generated, isn't it?
I have heard of instances where some of the creators are AI. They don't exist. So people are essentially signing up to the OnlyFans of a person who looks like a human but is AI. But I am equally not worried about it taking my job because I always think there will be a space for humans. People will always still want to interact with real people. There will still be people that want real actors for shows, and like you said, like you're a comedian.
Like how I've been told a couple of times.
There's gonna be.
But you're not losing jobs, aren't you? Angry? Aren't you angry about losing jobs to an AI?
This is a positive podcast, so I'm positive that it's never going to happen. I'm actually kind of interested. So you say OnlyFans, because there's different versions of OnlyFans. So there's AI generated people in OnlyFans. What
I've heard of is instances where they have a creator who does videos and then they AI the video to make another version of the same video. So this person is essentially making money out of two separate. The same video is making double the money, essentially, is what I have heard of.
That's technology. I'm from a MySpace generation, so...
I'm
that's wherever my head. Yeah. You've literally just lost me. That's just literally... If I was feeling horny, that's just totally lost it. So,
so are they popular, do you think?
Oh, well, I will question anybody who watches that AI OnlyFans seriously needs to look at themselves as an individual. And there's probably a lot of young men in basements with glasses.
But the thing is that I don't even know if some people would know that it's AI. Because it may be that... Because people use filters all the time now. So people don't necessarily always look authentic anyways online because they have filters on them. And
you know what? I did see an AI advert for... it was in a country that needed money. And the person, it was like a young lady, and she had the traditional clothes on. And I'm like, your skin looks better than mine. I need to ask you where you get your products from. Yeah, it weren't convincing. It was just too, the people were too perfect in this village. And it's like, no, someone's got bad teeth in this. I'm like, I can't get teeth on. There's a minimum molar missing. I think as a model, I think you should be pretty safe in your field. I could tell the difference. I've researched quite a few OnlyFans.
just for research purposes.
Yeah, so I trust me, I know the difference.
Tell us, Tania, tell us a bit about how did you get into it?
So I was a model beforehand. I went up to nude level. I studied photography originally. This is how I first got into it. So I sort of knew about nudity and art and was kind of desensitized to it through that. And I did a lot of nude modeling after that. And then lockdown happened, and like a lot of nude models who couldn't work, we all joined OnlyFans because it was just a way that we could make money, and we were nude on the internet anyways for multiple years before that. So we thought we may as well try and make some money.
But I will say you helped out the OnlyFans. You helped out a lot of, because it went up. Subscriptions went up, and I mean that with all due respect. It actually went up. It helped me through the 2 years of the 2 years of the pandemic.
Yeah. Not all heroes wear capes.
Peter, have you done any research on OnlyFans?
No.
Do you know what it is? Do you know what?
No, I know what OnlyFans is. Yeah, but I can't.
How old do you think it is?
I can't.
You know what it is. Did you have that in your day, son? What ageist?
No. I can't afford it. That's the trouble.
Okay. Right. Let's get on to money. So the money in all your respective industries is very, it's all over the place. Like, so Quincy, like a top comedian can be earning mega bucks.
Yes.
How do you feel about money? The difference between money between
the market and the module of money for myself, which I'm still in the midst of cracking, and I've pretty with my peer group have earned a lot of money through online stuff. I might have to tackle the OnlyFans and telling jokes at the same time. I mean,
are comedians on OnlyFans? Tania, do you get like people cracking jokes on OnlyFans?
Or do you mean actually doing the full OnlyFans?
You have to crack something else as well.
Yeah. No, there's been during lockdown there were comics telling jokes
on OnlyFans.
On OnlyFans, you're subscribing to them, so it was quite cringy. It's like literally filming themselves in the shower and stuff like that and talking. But that's quite a good niche. You see, I mean, if you've got a decent enough personality, because your personality comes through before your body, just for research purposes.
Yeah, so actually, what you're saying is right, because OnlyFans was never created to be an adult entertainment thing. It was always created initially for anyone to sign up that could have a fan base and people could subscribe to it. But the adult industry completely took it over and became so big in the adult industry that it's known as something. And
is that true? Purposes. Again, as someone who doesn't do that much research.
What are you looking at me for? What are you asking?
I haven't done the research.
Do you know what's really funny? One time, I remember as you were browsing through the browser, and I recognised, hang on a minute, that woman lives in my street. I recognised the Tesco Metro. That's my street. Hey!
It's purely so that OnlyFans is purely that. There's no other. What other stuff can you find on OnlyFans then?
Nowadays, I think it's
Magicians.
got a big market with the adult industry. Patreon, I think, is used more now for other things. If people want like comedians or musicians, I think it would be difficult now to have an OnlyFans and have something different on there. You could still do it, I suppose, but it's just so known under that reputation that. I don't know. It's
been monopolised. I think it'd be good to have an OnlyFans with someone just reading. What about a script for a movie coming up that you can get the first preview? Remember the film Misery when the woman made the guy kidnapped him and made him write the whole book. That'd be good OnlyFans. You know what I mean? Just get hold of a famous person and saying just
kidnap them, and then you have to pay for their ransom. Is that?
Yeah, and then you basically say, look, you read this to my OnlyFans. People will subscribe to J.K. Rowling.
Okay, that's an idea. We could try that.
There's got to be an easier way.
In terms of money, Peter, money for actors we know is all over the place. Yeah, what do you think of the acting scene and AI taking over?
Well, I mean, it is to a certain extent, but I don't think it ever will. It won't take everybody's jobs. It's like when TV came along and they thought the film industry would die, but it didn't happen. and newspapers would decline and all that sort of thing. I mean, it is crazy, you know, you get the like Tom Cruise and people like that are on mega bucks, and then you've got people that are sort of doing 8 shows a week, you know, on a national tour or something, and earning a couple of £100 a week, you know, and then they've got to pay for their accommodation as well as their rent at home, and so, you know, they're almost like working for nothing. So it is very hard for a lot of people. But
remember you worked on a TV production, didn't you?
Yes, I was PA for someone on their talk show, and I worked for this person for about 10 weeks, and he was on like 25 grand an episode, and at the end of the 10 weeks, they paid me £200.
He made
wow!
25 grand.
Yeah, because he was a client of the agency that I worked for. So because I was getting my normal weekly wage, this was sort of seen as a bonus. But
£200, you know, just describe. You've seen Coming to America when the two guys. Oh yeah. And he says to Eddie Murphy's character, "Here's £5 bonus." You know what I mean? And the other brother gets half. That's for me. 25 grand. He gave me £200.
That's terrible, isn't it? That's terrible.
But he asked me to go, and because he was doing pantomime that year, and because he knew I was an actor, he offered for me to go and look after him and understudy him. But they were only going to pay me the wage that I got in the office, and I'd been on call for 24/7, and I had to pay for my own accommodation.
Yeah, that's when you get AI.
So I turned it down.
You need AI for that. You do.
Yeah, so I turned it down, you know, because they were just taking the piss.
Yeah.
Some people are making really good money in OnlyFans for sure, Tanya. I mean, like, what sort of money can you make?
You can make a lot of money on OnlyFans, and you can make not a lot of money. It's the same, I suppose, with any industry, really, when you think about it. But the top creators in the industry are making $1 million a month, and some people are not really making anything.
Can I ask you? So when you're in your room or your studio, is it like being in a taxi? Just if you've got specific hours, I'm gonna be in this room and do what I need to do for like 4 hours. Like taxi,
it's like a normal job. It's
like
so funny.
cabbies go, right, I'm gonna 8 hours shift.
She's on a meter.
It is funny because you get so desensitized to being naked and being in underwear and being around other people naked and in underwear that you're on a job. And maybe you relate to this. I don't know if you've ever done a sex scene in acting or any sort of sexy sort of scene. Because I've heard actors talk about this as well, that it is not, it's not how, it's like you're just having a normal chat with the person you're with about their day or their problems in their life, but then you're in underwear or like it's...
So you're desensitized.
You're very desensitized to the whole nudity thing or the being in lingerie. Like it's the people looking at you. If you work with a photographer, they're looking at you like you're like a piece of paper, like you're not. Like,
you know what
you're not standing there in underwear.
We've got our guy here. Who's doing the camera work here. I couldn't do his job of doing OnlyFans, so that'd be shaking.
So I think people that are newer to the nude world that are doing the photography work or the camera work, yeah, I think at first they're nervous. They're more nervous than the models that have been doing it for years because they're not used to seeing naked people or seeing people that are in underwear. Whereas
do you know what gets me as well? Like, how do they direct someone who's in a nude scene, like the best parts of the body to catch or positioning? Because I've actually witnessed a scene, a lovemaking scene, and then
how did you witness this?
Yeah, it was a full on. It was a full on. You know what I mean? Because I would have wrote myself.
What? Where were you? Where were you in this?
No, I was part of the set.
The crowd.
Yeah, I was part of the set. I can't mention it. It was a friend of mine who was in the scene.
You were the fluffer.
Darn, I want to go away from those pesky kids. Who can't say that in this day and age? But anyway.
What? You were filming this section?
No, I wasn't filming it. That's perfect. No, I was in the production.
Okay.
And I was part of the production. It was a friend of mine's independent movie. It was a love scene. Yeah.
Okay.
But the director It was just basically like the guy was having sex with his woman, but the director obviously, we see the ending, innit? We just see like the minute or the 2 minutes of the lovemaking, kissing, all that kind of stuff. But we don't see the behind the scenes of, all right, cut! Move over here. Cut! All right, put your shoulder over here. Cut! Put your leg over.
Mechanical. Takes the fun out of it.
Yeah, it was like, what's this, 16 on Lego? Desensitized. That's heartbreaking for most men, though, man. Imagine you meet someone. If I met you, man, and I've really like proper fell for you, and you're like,
no. So I think with partners or with people that they're meeting for that purpose, they're not desensitized in that way. It's just like when you're at work, you're seeing it as work. You're seeing it as work, like any other.
But if you say something funny, I'm gonna laugh generally, and I'm gonna genuinely laugh. I don't think it's just work.
But do you guys like also, you're a bit more into your whatever it is, like say a chef is much more into cooking and knowing what good food is, so you guys must be more into your lines of work, I guess. I'm me on and off stage. Obviously there's levels and there's limits, but how my personality, I always want to bring my authentic self to the stage. I want the audience to leave my half an hour set, 20 minute set or whatever period of time and think, I know something different about that guy. I've learned something different about this guy. So next time they would invest in me. Mm-hmm. Is that how you get doing for OnlyFans? So I'm going to bring you the conversation back.
No, I think a lot of people have personas a little bit more. So I feel like I get a lot of people that say to me, you're so different to what I expected you to be like. And I don't know if that's because of pre-positioned ideas of what people think an OnlyFans person will be like. Or because you generally are a lot more like all of this, like hello. You're a lot more like trying to like showy, and so I think people expect this really sassy, really hypersexualized person that's really like going to be all the attention on them all the time, and then when they meet you and you're a lot more like quiet or reserved, then you're like online persona.
Have you ever seen a geezer on OnlyFans? Not a geezer, but a person who's watching you and you're like, never in a million years would I would entertain this with you.
You mean like if you were on
a person
that was signed up to your OnlyFans talking to you? I think if somebody's signed up to your OnlyFans, it is hard to then cross over to, because I've had this before. Oh, would you ever date anyone from your OnlyFans? But is that what you're? No.
I know that's overstepping the mark. So do you see these people visually?
A lot of them are no, because they're just writing to you.
That makes sense.
Yeah, but some people do one-to-one video calls or.
That makes sense.
So then, depending on the person, they would see the person. Yeah.
So you're naked and they're writing to you.
Yeah, so you can send out pay-per-views, like videos that would be recorded. It depends. Every person does something different on OnlyFans. Like some people just do lingerie level, they don't do anything else. Some people do open legs, some people do full on porn. It's completely up to what that person wants to do. So yeah, some people will be on a video call and they'll have actual interactions with these people. Some they'll just send out pay-per-views, which can be open. Some they'll interact more with messages.
And that goes back to human connection, doesn't it? At the end of the day, when it comes down to it, AI wouldn't be a threat indirectly to our job because they want that human connection.
Yeah.
And you can, you see what I've done there when I brought it back to make it very sensible.
I still think AI can take a lot of jobs. I think there will be. I think it's progress. I think it's just people.
Yeah, it's progress. If you put it out in the universe, it's going to happen. I'm not going to put that in the universe. I'm going to say that.
You're like me.
Yeah.
You're into your spiritual energy.
Yeah, and I strongly believe that if you put something out there, it would. Like, look, Trump's in power. Someone put that in the universe.
It's exactly how I feel. I feel what you put your energy towards. So if you're sitting there worried it's going to take your job, then it will take your job because that's what you're so focused on. Yeah,
and it is concentration. So like it comes down to human connection. So someone's sitting there writing to any OnlyFans individual is that they want a connection, and there's different levels of connection. The same way, and it's energy because your body posture and how you reply back in tones, that's all energy. You know what I mean? I'm quite impressed with that answer myself.
It's nice. What do you think about Like in terms of the as you guys are getting older, have you found your industries easier, harder? What do you think?
Well, go on. Sorry, I'll be
Peter. Go on, Peter.
I find it much harder. You know, I feel a bit of a dinosaur. It's also to do with diversity. I mean, I'm all for diversity, let me say, but you know, being a 65-year-old white man makes it, you know, harder now. Where, you know, because most of the jobs that come up on Spotlight, you know, ask for someone African American or
really,
or Asian or.
So you've never been at a callback for Top Boy?
No.
Do you know, it is. I haven't seen those jobs. When it's like the diversity point. Like I said, I think we'll all agree there should be the perfect person or the right person to get the role.
Yeah.
For any position.
Yeah.
But when the people who are behind hiring that people do not look like you, that's when we need AI to be the middle ground to put it out to who gets the right.
I mean, like, it's your, you know, I guess with comedians, the older they get, the more experience and the more life experience they get.
Yeah, I think as you get older as a comedian, I'm 31, so I think that as you get older, you tend to work smarter. So you're not more concentrating on TV. You're doing live work and for a period of time, and then you accumulate your earnings, so you can relax for a period of time. But you can also amalgamate your family or break time on holidays. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
What about the fact that just even same with Peter as well? Like the older you get, the more experience you got, the more confidence you get. Same with you as well, Tanya. Like at first, you know, were all you guys a bit, you know, the nerves aren't there anymore? Do you think, or what do you think, Peter?
Oh, no, the nerves are definitely still there. Yeah, I mean, the one thing I find sort of getting older is learning lines. I find that more difficult now. But yeah.
You did a music video a couple of weeks ago. Surely you're not as nervous as you would have been.
No, I absolutely loved doing the music video, but then I wasn't speaking, you know. But no, that was a really positive experience. I had such a great time. The crew and the director were wonderful, and we were filming in Brighton, and I'm on the prom in a mobility scooter, you know, going up and down the prom with this other guy, and we're on the fun fair and bumper cars and flying kites, and it was like I was regressing back to my childhood. It was brilliant, you know. And you know, that was a great experience, but it's not always like that.
But don't you think, like, as a younger person, you've been more nervous? I mean, Tanya as well. Like your shoots, you don't, because you've been there, seen it, done it. You're more. Life's easier as you get older.
I would say so. When I first did my first ever shoot, even though it wasn't nude, I was terrified. Then when I did my first nude shoot, I was terrified again. Now I don't even think about it. I actually find it easier to be naked in front of people than to do a talk in front of people. And I know for a lot of people it would be the other way around, but I'm so used to being nude and naked in front of people now that feels easier to me than
society being body conscious though. Are you body conscious?
I would say doing nude modelling, and I've heard the same from a lot of models, helps you feel more comfortable with your body. Because nobody ever sees your body really, other than partners. So when suddenly you're forced to just be naked, not forced, but when you choose, when you choose to be naked in front of people all the time, you become so much more comfortable with your body, and you're way more accepting of, in some ways, your body. But then I would say that's nude modelling. When you then go onto like social media, I think in some ways it can also make you more hypersensitive about the way you look, because you're now comparing yourself to filters, to people who have edited themselves that don't even look like that, to people who have had plastic surgery, you have people commenting on how you look a lot more. So yeah, in some ways it can make you so much more body confident, but then so much more insecure, and so much more that you need to look even better and even better and even better because of this
But I've been in 2 productions of The Full Monty, the musical, and because we have to strip at the end, and I was much bigger than I am now. I was playing Dave, the big guy, and I was like 18 stone then, but then I thought, when it comes to the striptease, they're not going to be looking at me. They're going to look at the fit ones. So.
You don't know that. Everyone's got a different. That's you telling yourself that.
Yeah, well,
everyone's got
it got
different
me
voice.
through it. It got me through it. So, but they won't be looking at me. They'll be looking at it. They're looking at the guy playing horse with the big dong.
That's actually, you're on stage and you have to get naked in front of all the crowd.
Yeah.
I didn't know that was part of the script.
Yeah, the full Monty. You do the full strip. But what they do is...
you have a sock. Do you have a sock?
No, you do the full thing.
It's the full Monty.
But as you do the reveal, a big flash of light from the back. So we sort of go into silhouette.
Oh, okay.
But you can still.
Some people have bigger silhouettes.
So how was that for you though? Did you feel a bit nervous doing that, or had you previously done nude sort of stuff before?
No, I'd done a couple of bedroom scenes in shows, but not sex scenes or anything. So so I was all right about it. Yeah, I was just a bit upset that I was so big at the time, But yeah.
Tell us about horror stories then. Oh, this is a positive podcast. Tell us about horror stories and good stories. The good and the bad. What's been your worst? What's been your best?
Well, regarding our careers.
Yeah.
Best story is, I start off with a horror one, but it's funny. Just early into my career, I was touted as the next big thing coming out of Barbados by my parents. And I was asked to do a performance in this hall in front of a West Indian community, but mainly people from Barbados. And the compere literally introduced me. I actually thought he was talking about Richard Pryor, how he wrote down stuff and saying stuff, and the crowd, and then he introduced me, and then as I walked on stage, there was a shout out from the end of in the audience. Someone who knew my mum and dad shouted out my government name.
Right.
And this person recognised me when I was a kid, and they shouted out my government name, and I was like,
mortified.
I was mortified. Yeah, I was like, yeah, okay then. So that was my worst but funny moment. No, yeah, but I'm keeping it positive. It was worse because everyone knew me, but like this, like your mum and dad's family friends, they will always see you as the child,
right?
Even though I've grown up, you know what I mean. So you always get them family members. Oh, you still a thief? Like, I'm 45. I've grown out of it. Don't nick biscuits no more. I remember this boy, he was a right thief.
So were you worried because you have a stage name? Because I know a lot of people in my industry also have stage names.
No, I've got Quincy's my name, but it's one of my one of my middle names. But they
you didn't want people to know what you're...
No, it was just how we just shouted it out.
Just through you.
You know what I mean? Like, because if I go on as my first name, it's literally it's not Hollywood. It's like Bob. Ladies and gentlemen, this guy has toured around the world. He has performed with Dave Chappelle. Give a round of applause for Bob. It's not the one. What's
been the best then? What's been the best?
The best for me, doing my first solo show, 2010, having my mum and dad in the audience and my dad looking around, because my parents are always, like, unless you're on TV performing with people they know. So if I perform in front of Bob Monkhouse or Frank Yale and those guys, like, to them, I'm not famous. But to be having my first show in the theatre, sold out both nights, and I caught my dad looking up around, and he just went down his thumbs to me. And then at the break, he came out and he said, "Yeah, my son, that's my son."
Oh, that's lovely.
Yeah, that was like, that meant a lot to me.
Yeah.
That's nice.
You guys, Peter?
Yeah, I've got a story like that. When I was in the musical La Cage aux Folles, it's sort of set in a gay nightclub, and at the start of the show we're all in drag with our backs to the audience, and then we all sort of turn around one by one and then go into the opening number. And my mum and dad were coming to see the show, and they were late. But as I turned round, I saw them coming down the aisle and sit down. And I hadn't come out to my dad, although he must have known.
There were clues. There were clues.
Where
was that makeup I set you, Mildred?
Yeah, when my boyfriend came and stayed, and we were living in the box room in a single bed, I think he might have But the thing was, I wasn't sure whether he'd liked the show or not, you know. And but at the end of the show, he stood up and gave me a standing ovation, and that's the only time he's ever done it. And I just burst into tears. You know.
Your dad a geezer? Is he like?
Yeah, he used to be a boxer.
Yeah, when we were saying. Yeah.
That's like Billy Elliot. The story. Wow.
Yeah. So that really sort of touched me, you know. Yeah. And it became his favourite show. He loved playing the CD, you know, I Am What I Am and all that sort of thing, yeah. Because I actually sang at his funeral, I sang one of the songs from it, Song on the Sand.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah.
What, in the same outfit?
Huh?
In the same outfit?
Drag.
In black.
Tanya, what about you?
I want to hear this daddy story.
Yeah, what's been the highlight?
I can't think of one specific time, but I think one of the benefits that I like of my job is that you get to travel a lot. So, like in different countries all the time, like hot countries like Cyprus, Portugal. Yeah, just like traveling a lot. I mean, the thing actually that drew me to my job was the freedom aspect, that I could work whenever I wanted, and that I got to travel a lot because I like to travel. So,
what was the first that was it a great experience on the first job? Travel?
Yeah, I think the first time I went away to a different country was Switzerland, and yeah, like generally just going to hot countries, which you don't think of Switzerland as I didn't think of Switzerland as a hot country, but if you go in the summer. And we were doing all these outdoor nudes in the woods, and it was really nice. Yeah. It's nice to be naked in the woods.
One of the I've been there. One of the things about what we do, though, like we've all must have had an experience where we're getting paid for doing stuff that we love in a part of the world we would have never have gone if it wasn't for that profession.
Yeah.
And I had that in Singapore. I was sitting in this hotel. I met someone, and then I was like, I'm getting paid for this. And it's just like, yeah, it's what I'm going to do.
Would you do your jobs if you didn't have to worry about living, but cost of living, but would you do it for free? Is it that type of career?
And in that conversation, hell no.
Is it not? Is it not? You'd be like, because you love your job so much, you'd do it for free. Is that no?
But if you do a performance so well, I think the money will naturally follow you anyway. So it will come from a good place. Yeah, we do things for free and all that, but ultimately, yeah, be recognised for what you do. You know what I mean?
I think that's one of the reasons, and I'll sort of round it up there, and that is one of the reasons why AI cannot win, I think, on creatives, because they said that they can take over jobs like, taxi driver or whatever, flipping burgers, but actually flipping burgers, not flipping burgers. But they'll never be able to, like, the creative jobs will be the last ones to go. That's why.
And this is the thing, yeah. So they tried AI in the old days, you know what I mean, with civil rights. And you keep on modernising AI, it's going to click on and think, wait a minute, this is slavery. This is slavery. And they're going to clock on and say, I ain't doing that.
What, and Terminator 2 is going to come out?
Terminator 2, yeah. Yeah, do you keep on messing around with AI, as they say, you F around and find out, it's going to clock on and think, this don't work. I should be paid for this.
Yeah.
Probably Bitcoin, because you can't handle cash.
Well, on that cheery note about creatives and AI, we'll leave it there, guys. So this show is sponsored by T&K Medicals, and we will see you on the next episode. So goodbye for now. Bye, guys.
Bye.